coverage without all the hassle. He'll work hard to provide you with personalized service and finding the best solutions for you and your family. Whether you're looking for auto, home, or business insurance, Rick Hall's got you covered. Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. Let him handle the details so you can focus on what really matters.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at WGNSradio.com. This is the Roundtable, Tennessee Association of Broadcasters Award winner for Best Local Talk Show. A look at the news, views, politics, sports, and people shaping Rutherford County.
Welcome in to the Roundtable on this Wednesday. Chip Walters with you from Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates, and the Blue Raider Network. Brian Barrett producing. And Brian, the last couple of days, we've had the weirdest weather, Mr. Weatherman.
Yeah.
Everything moving east to west. What's up with that?
Mother Nature wanted a change. You know, it's just like going from
What was the old butter? What was the old butter commercial? Don't mess with don't fool with Mother Nature.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
but yeah,
it's just kind of where the low pressure moved off to the east, and then we got that crazy ridge of high pressure in the middle of the country, and it's just causing weird things around here.
Then the low is sticking where it is, and you know, if you watch enough Weather Channel, you see that
you just see it spin around.
They go counterclockwise, which is moving all the rain that we're getting east to west. So, and again, had a cookout at our office yesterday, and of course about 12 o'clock it just dumped on us. So, you know, be careful. That could happen to you today.
Well, if you had decided to have had that last night, it would have done the same thing because
Exactly.
it happened again yesterday evening, right in the same area.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's every day I wake up and how much did it rain? Look at my driveway and see whether or not it's wet in the morning. So,
yeah.
Anyway, but
more of the same.
Yep, that's right. You'll go through all the weather coming up in about an hour and get everybody up to date. And as we head to the weekend, today I reached out. Oh gosh, a month or two ago to Jessica Supakhan. She is the new principal at Holloway High School, and she was said, "Hey, I will be happy to come on. Let me get my feet on the ground." And so today is whether your feet are on the ground or not, you're here. So
yes, thank you for having
welcome
me.
in.
Thank you.
And you brought your assistant principal, Jennifer Courtney. So Jennifer, how are you?
I'm great. Great. Thanks.
We've been as always before a show, I spend time talking to somebody long enough to figure out how I'm kin to them somewhere along the way. But we've got some shared experiences. You not only are you the new principal at Holloway High School, and you the assistant, you both are a tag team for Rutherford County Virtual School. So obviously you all work well together.
Yes, we have worked for
Don't say it. Don't tell.
I
It's a
don't-
lot. It's a lot.
I think over 15
Yes.
years together.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
15 years.
Wow. And in the virtual school, we'll go into some of that as well. But, you know, one of the things I wanted to do today is, number one, talk about what your jobs at Holloway High School, but also do a little fact versus fiction.
Ooh.
You want to play that game today?
Oh,
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
That's great.
Love it.
Okay, we're gonna hear this early on. We're gonna do that. We're gonna play fact or fiction at Holloway High School. Fact or fiction? Holloway is just an alternative school for students who get in trouble.
Fiction. That has never been the case.
See, there we go. That's why we're here.
A
Did you
lot
know
of-
that?
I did.
Okay.
So yeah, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so a lot of people have thought that. And, I don't really know where that came about from. I do know that Holloway's a small school, and Holloway has helped a lot of students over the years that might not have done well in a big traditional zone school. So maybe because some students got extra support at Holloway, it might have gotten labeled that way. But Holloway has never been an alternative school. I went and graduated from there, and I can tell you it was never an alternative school when I went. And
It is a choice school.
absolutely.
Okay.
We did hear from one of the alumni that the word alternative has changed through the years. It was an alternative to some of the larger schools, but it was never like I'm doing air quotes, like anybody can see that. An
Well, they can.
alternative
You don't know
school.
this, but you're on YouTube.
Great.
So yeah,
Great.
you're on you.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're on YouTube
You
today
didn't tell us
as
that.
well, and you'll be able to go back and watch
Great.
yourself and beat yourself up
Yes.
later.
Awesome.
All right, number 2, fact or fiction. Holloway students choose the school for smaller class sizes and more personalized learning environment.
Fact. I got that one. Buzz.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah. Talk
Fact.
about that a little bit too.
Well, it's like she said earlier, Rutherford County is very blessed with a lot of people, and because of that, a lot of students. And so because of that, we have very large high schools in Rutherford County,
Yes.
big schools full of students. And for a lot of students, that's a great place. It's a great thing. They love the crowds and the halls and all the things about a big high school, but there are groups in every school that don't. There are students that just don't, they don't want that huge population, and they want to be seen. They need a little more, intimate setting. They want smaller classes. They want more one-on-one attention, that Holloway can provide. So it's a really good option for those students.
And that works college as well. I mean, there are people who come from small towns or whatever. They say, whether it's MTSU or go to Knoxville or wherever, they say, that's either fits me or
Right.
it doesn't.
Right.
And they want something smaller. Okay, fact or fiction. Holloway offers fewer academic opportunities than traditional Rutherford County high schools.
So I would say that that's not fact or fiction, obviously, because we have fewer teachers, fewer staff. We can't offer every foreign language, obviously, but we still offer those advanced class options for our juniors and seniors. So let's say you wanted to take German and we don't have a German teacher. You could go to MTSU and take German through dual enrollment. You could go to...
While you're a student at Holloway.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so our students could go on campus at MTSU, or they could take online classes at MTSU or Motlow or TCAT. So really, any class is available to them. We just don't have as many teachers on the Holloway campus.
So, but those academic opportunities are there.
Absolutely.
Okay. Fact or fiction. Holloway has one of the strongest graduation support systems in the county.
Truth, yes, that is fact. We have one of the best graduations out of any school in the county, and I'm not just saying that because I've been there as a teacher for 11 years and as a student, but it is the most meaningful. We have a rose ceremony. It is beautiful, and then every single teacher on the Holloway staff pours into these students to get them to that, final stage walking. We know every student by name and really pour time and attention into our kids.
And it's not so much that, the other schools aren't doing this. It's just they're bigger. They can't,
Right.
they don't have the benefits of being able to know every single student and every single graduate, to where they walk through the door and you can tell, like, hey, something's wrong with you today, because I know you so well that I can tell you might be down. So not, all the high schools are doing a great job. They are. They just, because we're smaller, we're able to do it a little bit better.
Every school has its benefits one way or the other.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay. Fact or fiction. Holloway does not provide extracurriculars or leadership opportunities for students.
Where are you getting these? Those are some serious things. No, fiction. 100%.
Okay.
You want to talk about that?
Well, so we do a lot with our students there. We've got a lot of clubs. We've got, a beautiful new greenhouse that was just built. And so we've got a lot of dedicated staff members who run an agriculture club on our school site. And because of our small scale, there's so
Ag
many...
club, that sounds like extracurricular to me.
It is extracurricular,
That's right.
DECA, all sorts of things. So, opportunities to take kids to compete on MTSU's campus. There's all sorts of things that the Holloway staff are doing that are amazing.
And we're open to, if a student would come in and say, hey, I was in so-and-so club at my other school and I would really love to do that. We're very open to, let's do it. Let's start it.
Gotcha. Okay. Fact or fiction. Holloway students regularly outperform expectations on state benchmarks and end-of-course growth.
So sometimes we do. Sometimes there's years where there might be some growth that needs to happen, but we are definitely right in line with all of the rest of the schools in Rutherford County. And some years we outperform, and some years we're right on track with the others. But yes, we have got an incredible teaching staff
Yes.
that are level 5 amazing teachers. So I would not hesitate one bit to recommend Holloway to anyone. My niece, my nephew both graduated from Holloway, so definitely a school that I recommend to family.
Speaking of that, fact or fiction, Holloway's teachers are among the most experienced and relationship-driven educators in the district.
Absolutely. They are a staff quite unlike any that I've ever met. They go out of their way to help students. Years ago when I was teaching there was a teacher that lived by a student, picked her up every day and brought her to school. Just help in amazing ways to help these students that, might need it.
Yep.
Fact or fiction, Holloway doesn't prepare students for college, trade programs, or careers after graduation.
Dr. Supakhan will answer as a Holloway graduate and say yes.
So
Incorrect.
That is fiction.
that is fiction. I graduated Holloway, went straight in, graduated in 3 years, went straight into MTSU with a lot of scholarships, and then went on to get my doctorate degree. So absolutely prepare students.
All right, and our final fact or fiction, Holloway's culture is built around accountability, encouragement, and giving students a fresh start, not punishment.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. We're gonna take that.
I'll give you this in a
Keep
little
that.
bit, but
yes, that's a perfect way to say it. It's just it's a good place. It's a good place for students to come, and thank God for all the fresh starts and second chances I've been given. You know, so we definitely believe in that, and not to say that every student that comes needs that second chance or that fresh start, but there are some that because of other circumstances or things that have happened at another school, they have a little bit of something, that they're trying to get away from and move to a fresh start, and Holloway is that place, and we'll start over with them.
it's
Absolutely.
and students can. And thank you for going through the and I'll let you have these later.
Thanks. I love it.
But I thought it was a great way to start today to let the audience know what are we talking about and what are we not talking about. But and I do want to go back through some of the history of Holloway in a bit. But when you talk about students that make the choice or families that make a choice to go from wherever they may be within the county and choose Holloway, and it could be for a multitude of reasons. Is that correct?
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what is the most common?
I'd say the most common is that they are looking for a smaller school setting with fewer students in each class. That's something that families pay a lot of money for private school for. Holloway is exactly that, with no tuition. We provide a maximum, usually 15 is the max.
Wow.
We're looking at usually between 10 to 15 students in a class, and you can only imagine the support that a teacher can give when you scale a class size down. The normal class size, in a large comprehensive school would be around 30. So you're talking about 10, 15 students getting a lot of individualized help. And then just that smaller scale. We also do virtual, and anxiety is on the rise in students. And so a lot of families are, not too keen on the idea of virtual school because they want their kids in person. But those large 2,000 student high schools are really overwhelming for some. So to come to Holloway, where we have a maximum capacity of 160 students, is an amazing opportunity for any high school student in Rutherford County.
Over 4 grades, there's 160 students.
Right.
About 40
About
per
40
grade.
40 class. Oh my goodness, that's pretty incredible. Has the role of Holloway over the years, has it changed, or has it pretty much been there and people have misunderstood it?
Well, it's shifted over the years, obviously. It opened in 1929. It was due to, overcrowding at Bradley Academy, which was the African-American school. And so they opened up Holloway to serve our high school students, the African-American high school students in the community at that time. It then, was shut down for a short period of time and then reopened, and in the 80s it became Holloway High School, and so that was to house a lot of vocational trades as a kind of a spillover from Central High School. And so they had like cabinet making, they had auto shop, and a lot of different things, and then they took away the VOTEC and made it just Holloway High School again. And so I definitely think it's changed over the years. But I attended in the 90s, and it was just Holloway High School. And the reason I went really was to graduate early. I wanted to get into MTSU and get on to getting a degree. And
I've heard there's a lot of that, of students who want to be on an accelerated academic program. That is, Holloway is a great option for that.
It is.
sure.
It absolutely is. We do a 4x4 block schedule. And so students can graduate in 3 years. All of the other high schools over the last couple of years have went to 4x4. So that kind
So
of.
what does that mean? Give me a typical day.
So you do 4 classes all day, about an hour and a half
Okay.
per class.
Okay, in my mind, that was the old Tuesday, Thursday at middle.
Right.
Absolutely. Yep.
But this is like college semesters. The
Right.
classes are, 4 a day, and you take them from August to December, and then you're done with those 4. And then you do 4 new ones in the spring. So that allows students to be finished in December. And that was a big pull for Holloway, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, because the regular high schools weren't doing that. They were doing, the year-long classes. And so that was a reason for students to come now. As she was saying, the other high schools have moved to that. So that's kind of hurt Holloway's attendance a little bit, because now they can do that at the in-person, zone school.
Yeah, but
as well.
it still doesn't change the teacher to student
Right.
ratio at all.
Exactly.
And so
That's
that's
exactly.
the largest pool
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
of why a family would want to choose Holloway, is really for that small scale family atmosphere.
Yep.
Yep. So, what was your thought when they, or how? What was the process of you becoming principal? How did that work?
So I opened up the virtual school in
Right.
2020, and a year ago we were on John Coleman campus in their annex, and so that was an older building, and they were looking at a spot for where can we house virtual school, and the Holloway shop was empty, so they renovated that. So that is our office. So we have been on Holloway's campus. The former principal, Miss Drayton, who is a friend and a mentor of mine, she hinted that she might be retiring within the next couple of years, and I might have planted a seed that I would love to be considered for both schools, just because it means so much to me.
See, we're learning a lot right here today.
Right.
That you were already embedded over there. And
Right.
so,
Right.
And we're gonna the whole final segment today. We're going to talk about virtual school, but it's the other thing you talked about, the specialness of the graduation ceremony. I remember I guess over the last however many years, that when the D&J would put all the prom pictures from the different schools, I would always love it because here comes the Holloway pictures, and they were like on the General Jackson or and had just a rockin' prom, and everybody was dressed to the absolute nines.
Yes.
And I always love checking those pictures out. So I would imagine, being a smaller student body, that it is a pretty tight student body. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Every student knows each other, and it's amazing because it really is a family. I went and toured another school out in Williamson County, another small school, and me and the principal were talking, and he told me an interesting fact that a well-known educational philosopher said about the size of a school. And he said there's something special to the number of 150, where everyone is like a family. Once you start getting into 200 and above, that's where cliques start forming. But he said that magic number of 150 students is so all-encompassing for students, where cliques just don't form. And all the time that I was there, I taught for 11 years there, it was a big family.
Yep. And very accepting, they're accepting of each other. I mean, they're different. All students are different. They're different interests, different looks, different everything. And it is crazy how accepting everyone is there. Number one, it's a choice school. So if they're not, they can return to their zone school, but they really just get along, and they, accept each other's differences. And it is like a family, family members are different, siblings are different, but you get along and you accept that, and you thrive together. So it really is it's a great culture is what it is.
Yep. Well, Jessica talked about how she got started and went to Holloway and was kind of accelerated. What is your background?
Well,
where'd you go to high school?
How far? I'm pretty old. How far do you think of it? Anyway, I started in the county, at Christiana Middle. I was a school counselor. John Ash, the great John Ash, who just retired, hired me, and I'll forever be grateful to him, because that was my step into the door of Rutherford County Schools. And then I went with him to Central Magnet for a year. And then Holloway, Miss Drayton became the principal at Holloway High School and asked me to come be her counselor. And it was a great decision. I worked with her at Christiana Middle before that, and so we'd gotten to know each other. And she's wonderful, and same as Dr. Supakhan, she's a mentor to me, and was really great to work for. And I worked there 9 years as the counselor at Holloway High School. And then the virtual school opened, and Dr. Supakhan said, "Hey, come on." And I thought, I loved Holloway. It was hard. It was a hard decision to make, because I loved being at Holloway, but it was just time for something different. So I went to be the counselor of the virtual school, and lo and behold, we're full circle, right back where we started.
Well, we were talking before we went on the air. Where did you go to high school?
Middle Tennessee Christian School.
Oh, that's right. You went to MTCS,
Yep.
but we were talking about how you, back in your spring breaks back in the day, you would work. You would get a little part-time work when TSSAA would come in for the basketball tournaments.
I loved it. I loved those weeks of watching the state tournament. So make a little money, watch a little basketball, eat some snacks. It was a good gig.
You had to keep cheerleaders rounded up, and halftime.
And, the little boys that wipe the floor with the sweat.
The ball boys.
We got. We were in charge of those. It was a hard job. It was hard.
Good. And so you started out at Christiana. Mm-hmm. Now was my pal Bobby Wesson out there at the time, or had he already left?
He must have left.
He ended up going to Las Casas. And,
okay.
And he went out there when they built the new building. At Las Casas.
Yep.
And Larry Stewart was the principal out there, who is an absolute mess. And wish him all the best. He's been fighting it here as we all do as we get a little older, but he's doing okay. All right, we're going to take a break today here on the Roundtable. Jessica Supakhan and Jennifer Courtney, they're part of the leadership team over at Holloway High School, and we'll be back with more right after this here on WGNS.
When it comes to your child's health,
you want care that's close, convenient,
and centered around the needs of your family.
At MMC Pediatrics, we're more than just doctors.
We're partners in your parenting journey.
Here for every growth spurt,
for every boo-boo,
every fever, and every flu.
Our team approach means that your child always sees someone that knows them.
We are MMC Pediatrics.
We are right beside you
every step of the way.
First Shot transforms Rutherford County youth. Coach Andy Herzer leads dynamic basketball camps and clinics, building skills and character since 2003. Kids dive into exciting STEM projects, sparking creativity through hands-on coding, art, and dance. They elevate their mind, spirit, and body in summer and winter programs. Visit FirstShotTN.org today to learn more. First Shot, where kids gain, elevate, and develop.
This is Austin Maxwell, and I'm asking for your vote for Murfreesboro City Council. It has been an honor to serve this community and work every day to make Murfreesboro an even better place to call home. But I believe Murfreesboro's best days are still ahead. I'll keep working for better roads, more parks and recreation, and good jobs that allow our families to thrive right here at home. Early voting is July 17th through August 1st, and Election Day is August 6th.
Paid for by Austin Maxwell for Murfreesboro City Council. Austin Maxwell, Treasurer.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by AmeriCare Pest Control and the law offices of John Day.
This is a paid legal ad.
At the law offices of John Day, we take only real cases that make a real difference.
The law offices of John Day took the burden really off of my shoulders.
So if you think you're going to get rich quick with a frivolous case, I'm not the lawyer for you.
I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done so much. I know you went over and beyond.
If we're not able to help or aren't the right lawyer for you, we'll do the best to point you in the right direction. If you've been injured, call the law offices of John Day for a free consultation.
Now, Good Neighbor Events. Here's Bart Walker.
This is the final weekend for 12 Angry Jurors at the Art Center of Cannon County in neighboring Woodbury. It continues through Sunday. And don't forget, A Taste of Rutherford is this Saturday from 6 until 8 in the evening over at Oakland's Mansion. This is Main Street Murfreesboro's annual fundraiser, and it's a great opportunity, especially for newcomers, to enjoy the cuisine of some of this area's finest local restaurants. Once again, A Taste of Rutherford is this Saturday, 6 until 8 in the evening at Oakland's Mansion, and it benefits Main Street Murfreesboro. Hey, maybe you're new to town and want to learn more about this community. Well, head over to the one-room Ransom Schoolhouse this Saturday, anytime between 9 in the morning and noon. Members of the Rutherford County Historical Society will be there to answer your questions about local history. It's all free. That's this Saturday, anytime between 9 and noon. Just drop in. The one-room Ransom Schoolhouse is at 717 North Academy Street. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor Events.
Rutherford weather.
Chance for storms. Today, otherwise mainly cloudy. High of 88. Slight chance for storms. With fog tonight, lows dip down to about 72. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS. Right now, it's 75 degrees.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric, and they want to make sure you're in the loop. Head over to mte.com to update your contact info so you can get those timely alerts on outages, billing, and more. That's mte.com.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Welcome back into the Roundtable here on WGNS. Dr. Jessica Supakhan, the new principal at Holloway High School, and Jennifer Courtney, the assistant principal at Holloway, have joined me today, and we went through our fact versus fiction, and wanted to spend another segment on Holloway before we talk about virtual school here in Rutherford County. But during the break, Brian jumped in here and we were talking about something I had on my list to talk to you guys about. When it comes to extracurriculars, one of the first things that comes to mind is athletics. And while Holloway does not have football, but there are other sports at Holloway, and people may not know this. But so what are the offerings?
Right. So we don't have every sport, but we do have some, and looking to possibly expand more into the future. We have basketball, bowling, and volleyball are three that we definitely have had and will continue to have. And then we've been talking about, potentially adding more if we have student interest, and then faculty coach interest as well.
Yeah. Now, they don't participate. You're not a member of the TSSAA, right?
Right.
Do you play like an independent schedule in those other sports, or is there any sort of who are some of the opponents that Holloway might be playing?
So we pretty much do an independent schedule. We play some private schools, some of the schools locally. We play their JV teams. But the volleyball, we join a rec league, and so our students play against, on a rec league. And then for bowling, are you familiar with? We're not quite familiar with the bowling, but we know that he does. His students do compete, and they do really well. And so the benefit of Holloway is that a student might be at Blackman or Oakland and might not make the team. At Holloway, we have chances are you're going to make the team and have that, ability to play.
Well, you said you guys might be open to, and it's, here's another thing that I'm too old school to have grasped it all, but across the country that is blowing up on college campuses in particular, and just from our conversation, Holloway might be the exact perfect place for this is esports, where they, you're with as much of video games and all that's going on, but this is, it's competitive, very competitive teams and all that that could be your wheelhouse.
Yes.
And another reason for a student to make a choice.
Right. So we were just talking about esports yesterday because we had a family that toured and they were interested in it. And yes, Virtual School has had esports for years now. So we are looking to add that on at Holloway for sure. That's a major interest of a lot of students.
And that would be, that's kind of right out of yesterday's conversation. So, but you mentioned that golf or that individual sports like golf or tennis could be something. Right. Is there an opportunity? I know, like Central Magnet they can co-op with Eagleville if there's a kid that wants to play football, they can play football for Eagleville. Is there any relationship there?
So we've discussed this previously, and we're definitely open to the possibility. It would have to be, an application that goes to the TSSAA. We'd have to find a partnering school first. So we're definitely interested in possibly doing that in the future. We just don't have anything in place for next year.
Yeah, I got you. It's always a work in progress.
Yeah.
Here's a trivia question for you. Your building over there, by the way, I thought this was interesting. I went into ChatGPT. I said, I need a little history on Holloway High School, and it gave me some stuff about it opened in 1929 as Murfreesboro's African-American high school. Do you know who E.C. Holloway was?
I do.
Okay. I thought this was very interesting. E.C. Holloway was a white attorney who advocated for better educational opportunities for black students. And so that's his name that is on Holloway High School when it started as an African American high school.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
it is.
And it was dedicated in 1929 on land that was formerly part of, and this is always really interesting about the history, part of the Rutherford County Colored Fairgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really, and that's kind of the Patterson Park kind of area, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay, interesting. What do you think it cost to build that building in 1929? That included a cafeteria, a library, and classrooms for 140 students.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it cost?
I have just been doing a lot of research on his, so I
you
know
may have
this.
seen
I'm not going to guess. No,
Courtney,
I don't
guess at it.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to be really bad at this guess.
It cost $20,400 to build a school.
I was going to guess way higher. I was going to embarrass myself. So
now let's tell the director of schools, hey, they built this school for $20,000.
Right.
You're looking for $50 million for what?
Right.
For the next new one.
Right.
But the principals, there was the first principal was, you know who it was? Since you've been doing the research, so you're following in a long line here of principals. You mentioned Ms. Drayton, but the very first principal he actually started in 1928 before the school opened. S.G. Green for 20 years. And then for the next 15 years, Mr. J.H. Stevens from 1949 to 1964. And then Mr. Collier Woods the last 4 or 5 years as it transitioned. And that transition began in 1964.
Mm-hmm.
And the ninth graders in 1964 moved to Central. In 1965, the 10th graders moved.
Right.
And so it went, and by 1968, everything had transitioned over to Central High School, and So there it is. Crazy.
That is crazy.
Very interesting fact is that over the last couple of years, Ms. Drayton has worked to restore all of the composites from
wow.
Holloway High School. So
You have to tell them how.
What was
how,
the first
how
grad-
they got, how they disappeared from Holloway.
Well, you
okay.
jump in. And
So this is another crazy part of this. There was a fire in the high school at some point, and I don't know the year. I should have researched this. But there was a fire, and the community members, because the school is on fire, and they're trying, the fire department's coming trying to put the fire up. The community members run in to the school and get the composites and take them out because they're trying to save them.
Right.
And so for years, because of this, the composites were spread out in the homes of community members. And then,
and the Lions Club, I believe,
and the Elks Lodge,
Elks
and
Lodge.
the Elks Lodge. So apparently, some of them made it back to the Elks Lodge and were housed in the Elks Lodge for decades, I want to say. And we, Miss Drayton, and we were at a meeting in the Elks Lodge like 15 years ago, and we look up, and there's these composites on the wall, and we're like, those are Holloway composites. And so Miss Drayton started talking to the Elks Lodge manager, president, whatever, and asking if we could get those back. And for years he said no, he wanted to keep them in the Elks Lodge. And then apparently a couple years ago he called Miss Drayton and said, hey, okay, I'm ready to give those back. So she kind of made it her mission to get all those composites back into Holloway, and has done that, and now has all the composites from all the years back in Holloway.
Yeah, that's awesome because it gives the kids who are there now a real sense of history of what was there.
Right.
There is a Tennessee Historical Commission marker at Holloway High School, and this could be here's the new tradition of Holloway. Something that as a freshman, something you have to do your freshman year is you have to memorize what is on the historical marker.
Yeah, that's good.
That could be
that
that could be a new tradition over there. Yep. Did you know that one of the notable alums of Holloway is Olivia Murray Woods, who was the first black graduate of MTSU in 1965?
I did.
She
know
did
that.
know that.
You did know that.
Yes. She didn't.
I did not. No, I did not. That's awesome.
So and so tell me what a typical day is like. What time do you what time does the bell go off? And what you I know we have 4 blocks of classes. What all's offered?
So 8:30, the bell rings for school to begin. Students do first and second block, and then there's a lunch break. Something unique about Holloway is that we have what we call activity period, which is basically the equivalent of recess, which you don't get in, most comprehensive high schools. We have got the amazing location of being right there
at Patterson.
At Patterson, where we've got the Murfreesboro Parks and Rec basketball courts and pickleball courts right on our campus. And so students can play pickleball, basketball, have about 35 minutes. So we divide the whole student body into lunch A or B. So if they're eating lunch first, they have their activity period second, or vice versa. And so every day students get a little bit of time to be outside, to recharge and recalibrate their brains before then third and fourth block.
What's
that's
been
pretty
great,
good.
Yeah.
And so they get like 35 minutes for lunch and 35 minutes for.
And what's been great is Rutherford County Schools, was it last year? I think they made the amazing decision to get rid of cell phones with students. We thought it was going to be a catastrophe, we thought, and it's been so great. So we've been able to be in the virtual school out on the campus, and we look out our windows and we see this activity period going on with Holloway, and these kids are like playing basketball and talking and walking together and playing pickleball, and nobody's got a phone out, and they are all just... And it's great. It's been great. I mean, they bring out cornhole boards and they throw cornhole in the parking lot, and it's like it used to be back in the day, before these cell phones took over. And it's been really awesome to see. So we're hoping to just keep that going.
That rule in that new rule in itself, I'm sure there was a little indigestion with certain helicopter moms and dads that. That
you can't get a hold of your child. Yeah,
I need to be able to talk to.
Right.
Now, what is the procedure? And I'm asking out of ignorance here. Like, could they bring them and store them?
Yeah, they just keep them away. They keep
Right.
them away.
So we don't take their phones
Right.
up. They just turn it off and keep it, in their backpack, in their purse. They just can't have it out.
And my son, I have a 9th grader at Oakland High School, and like after the first week of school, he came home and I'm like asking him like, is it terrible? What are you guys doing? He's like, no, it's fine. I said, what do you guys do at lunch? He was like, we talk. And he came home and said, what are those things that you used to make out of paper where you like flick them like this? And he asked me to make those little paper footballs, and they play that old game. You remember that game that you played, and where you played
absolutely.
The football? He did that. And so I made him a bunch of those, and they play football at the table and talk like
the old days. Okay, what is as we wrap up, the most important question here? Do you have the rectangle pizza at in the cafeteria?
We don't know. I don't. We'll have to find out.
You're going to find that out.
Yeah.
It's been a few years since we've been in the cafeteria, so.
But if we do, we'll bring you a piece. We will bring.
You invite me over. I'll come have lunch with y'all one day.
Awesome. Yes,
that'd be great. Okay, we're going to switch gears just a little bit as our good friends Jessica and Jennifer are here today talking about Holloway. They also are the principal and assistant principal for the Rutherford County Virtual School, and we're going to talk about that when we return here on the Round Table.
When it comes to your child's health,
you want care that's close, convenient,
and centered around the needs of your family.
At MMC Pediatrics, we're more than just doctors.
We're partners in your parenting journey.
Here for every growth spurt,
for every boo-boo,
every fever, and every flu.
Our team approach means that your child always sees someone that knows them.
We are MMC Pediatrics.
We are right beside you.
Every step of the way.
I'll be right there.
It takes all of us to power a community, both in plain sight and behind the scenes. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
What's the location of your emergency? I think my kid OD'd.
Hi, I'm Craig Harris. I'm County Commissioner of Rutherford County. One of the reasons I ran for office is because I wanted to bring awareness to the opioid epidemic that's impacting our county. To stop providing this epidemic with people as we educate them. We have a lot to do, and we have to come together as a community because this problem's not going away.
If I had to rate the office of John Day,
I would definitely give him a 5-star rating.
A 20 stars.
Probably like 100 stars. John Day's office was wonderful.
They are caring.
Call the law offices of John Day.
I would recommend them to everyone.
Over 1,000 times a year, a lawyer refers someone who needs help in a personal injury or wrongful death case to us because we treat every referral in a timely, professional way. Trust the lawyers other lawyers trust. Trust the law offices of John Day.
If you can dream it, Farrah Construction can turn it into reality. Shop local, Farrah Construction Company. I'm Ron Hall. Investing in property can be nerve-wracking. It does not have to be. Farrah Construction offers high-quality craftsmanship, quick response, and attention to detail. Our goal is to keep your expenses low while focusing on our attention on high-quality services. I'm Ron Hall. Shop local. Let our family business help you. Farrah Construction Company.
City of Murfreesboro, this is Jacob Morphus running for your city council. If you want someone who values unconditional integrity, has a servant's heart, but is gritty and gets things done, then I am your candidate. I serve people for a living. I'm seeking this role not as a politician, but as a passionate resident looking to serve the community I love. Early voting is July 17th through August 1st and Election Day August 6th. I will be grateful for your vote. God bless.
Paid for by Jacob Morphus for Murfreesboro City Council. Jacob Morphus, Treasurer.
Hey folks, it's Chip Walters from Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, helping Middle Tennessee make smart moves in a fast-moving market. Whether you're buying, selling, or just exploring your options, you deserve someone who knows this community and treats your goals like their own. From first-timers to long-time homeowners, I'm here to guide you with clarity, confidence, and a steady hand. When you're ready to make the next move, start with someone you trust. Visit choosechip.net. and let's make your 2026 move the right move.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Welcome back into the Roundtable. We've been talking about Holloway High School, and the brand new principal, Dr. Jessica Supakhan, and the assistant principal, Jennifer Courtney, have been joining us. And we've had all kinds of interesting stuff to talk about. The fact or fiction list, all of that. We talked about what a typical day is like. You've got something coming up on August the 1st that's going to be really special, and this is going to allow for, I know you're inviting back in particular alums of Holloway High School, but this is something that's wide open. Anybody in the community. Talk about what you got coming up.
Yes, so we are blessed that the nonprofit organization Heart of Hearts chose Holloway to be the host site for their back to school bash, and so they have a lot of different sponsors throughout the community, and they are giving away hundreds and hundreds, I think over 800 backpacks, food boxes, clothing. They're going to have bounce houses, face painting, dunk tanks, just all sorts of things.
Again, on your campus there, you can include all of Patterson Park there.
Yes.
So there's going to be plenty of parking.
Right.
And plenty of room for all of this.
Ask Dr. Supakhan who's going to be in the dunk tank.
Who is going to be in the dunk tank, by the way?
So I will be in the dunk tank along with Bradley's principal, Dr. Lewis. And so this is a whole community event. Bradley Academy is included in this, Patterson Park. It's going to be amazing. We're inviting back Holloway alumni. We're opening up the school so they can walk the halls, see composites, and then some historical stuff from, previous days, and then we're also having some alumni speakers. So Dr. Gloria Bonner, we're blessed that she's going to speak at this the first 45 minutes starting at 12 p.m. So 12 to 12:45 we're going to have a jamboree in the gym. Miss Drayton is going to speak, the former administrator, Dr. Gloria Bonner. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, so and that's open for anybody.
Right. Anyone that wants
and in
to
particular,
come.
Kids coming back to school with all the backpacks and everything that they're going to be giving away.
Yes.
And, just from what I've heard, that if we had taken a vote of who should be on the dunk tank, it might have been Miss Courtney here.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yes, I think so too. We might need some extras.
Everyone loves to dunk their principal. You know, like that's the thing.
Or their assistant principal.
Yeah, that's right. And so that's coming up August 1st, and I know Brian and them, they'll be having that out leading up on the news and things like that, trying to get the word out. Let's change gears a little bit, because your the first time you got together was in 2020, when Rutherford County decided during COVID that there needed to be a virtual school. I mean, of course, all schools went virtual for a while.
Right.
But then coming out of COVID, there were a number of students who wanted to remain virtual. So kind of give us a little, Cliff Notes history of number one, how it happened, and I'm sure it was because it had to, and then how it ended up staying.
Sure. So we're blessed to lead the virtual school in Rutherford County. It came about actually before COVID.
Really?
A lot of counties around Tennessee, including Metro, had a virtual school. Metro had one 10 years before we opened ours. And there's just so many different reasons why a student might want or even need to be a virtual school student. Obviously, in 2020, COVID fast-tracked that. And the ultimate, the very large need was because of COVID. Now that COVID is gone, there are students that are thriving in virtual school because, like I said, they might want to or need to. So we've got students that, have medical diagnosis that causes them to need to be either in a hospital or at home, or a family member that has something. But then we've got competitive athletes. So we've got a lot of competitive athletes who have a rigorous training schedule, and they need flexibility with their schooling. We've got students that were formerly homeschooled, and then the parents said, okay, well, Rutherford County's providing this. It's free. We give the students a laptop. We've got, an excellent curriculum that Rutherford County is a reward, county every year, level 5. So we use the same curriculum, and we've got excellent teachers. So students go live and they get, the virtual instruction on Zoom.
So the teachers are dedicated to the virtual school. It's not like you're putting a camera up in a history class at Blackman.
Right.
And so it is a history teacher that is right there. And how many people may be in that class?
So it varies. Our class average is about the same size as in person at a comprehensive school, so maybe around 25, 30. Some are less, some might be a little bit more. But the teachers are very tech savvy, and so it's very interactive. We have got where the students see their teacher's face and they see their classmates' faces. They get to know all of their peers very well. And, they utilize tools and technology, but also they practice using document cameras. So students are handwriting. We think that is very important still to have. So this year we're requiring every grade to have a document camera where teachers will say, hey, flip over to your document camera. I want to see your handwriting now. So they're writing their essays in
cursive?
Right. Oh, I don't know. We haven't got that.
Early grades do have cursive as a supplemental, but not everyone is doing that every day. But they're working their math problems out in real time. So it's an amazing opportunity for students or parents that might want it or need it. A lot of students with anxiety from the big crowded buildings. We take, so just a ton of different reasons, and we're growing every year.
And I feel like we need to say, we do have a lot of parents that are interested, or their students are interested, but they remember the distance learning that Rutherford County put out for during COVID. And, no school did that really well because it was just thrown upon us. We weren't able to prepare. So a lot of people think distance learning was a little bit crazy, and, and this is not distance learning. We're in year 7, I think now, and it's gotten better every year, but this is so distant from distance learning and how it's set up, and we do it so well. Our teachers really do it really well. And so that's always something that we want to say to parents is if you have this misconception about the virtual school and you think that it's, like distance learning was, it's not.
Is it typical 4-block day, or how does that scheduling work?
We serve grades 4 through 12 now.
Okay.
So each grade band, elementary does a little bit different than middle, and high school does a little different. Elementary and middle, they go live from 8 a.m. until noon. They have some breaks built in, and so we compact all of those core classes into that time frame. Everybody in the school breaks for lunch at noon, and then the afternoon is reserved for small groups. So we serve special ed students. We have some that just need intervention, and that's when they meet. Some teachers might be pulling students into a breakout, Zoom to get extra support if they didn't do well on their test. So it's mainly for intensive small groups in the afternoon. High school's a little bit different because we've got students that have some live classes on Zoom every day. Some have some asynchronous classes where they don't have that live Zoom component. So, we've got a ton of dual enrollment students on MTSU's campus, Motlow's campus. They are going online with all of those. We've got some at TCAT. So high school's a lot more fluid than elementary and middle.
Is there any availability for, I know you talked about competitive athletes. Is there any way where you, I don't know, and I'll just pull, let's say somebody's at Siegel and they're okay to be, I don't know how to put, I guess part of their day they could be in live school And is there any sort of combination, or do you have to choose one or the other
So
right
you
now?
really have to choose one or the other.
Okay.
Rutherford County does have those online classes, which is separate from us, where a student could be full-time at Siegel and take a single online class through the RCS online option. But our students are able, TSSAA made a rule that virtual schools throughout the state can play at their zone schools. So virtual school students, no matter what school you are zoned for, can try out and play at their zone school.
Okay. All right. Interesting. But so how many faculty members do you have in the virtual school?
About 20. Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And like on the typical Wednesday morning, how many will there be 20 classes going on at one time?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we perfected the whole, Zoom and, microphones that block out noise, but it's a whole room of little cubicles and teachers just teaching away. We've got a PE teacher doing jumping jacks in her cubicle and jumping rope. I mean, I'll walk by and she's literally like stretching and jumping rope in her cubicle with all these kids on Zoom. And we've got a music teacher playing a ukulele back there, and they've got all their ukuleles at home playing on a Zoom, and it's pretty neat. It's a new world of education for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
And one last thing, we it came about in 2020, and of course with COVID and all, learning took a hit in 2021, 2020 and 2021 in particular. The kids who were 2nd through 6th graders are now in high school or close.
Right.
Have they bounced back? Have they recovered?
Yeah. Rutherford County is a level 5 school
amazing.
district year after year.
Yep.
We are the top in the state, within the couple of counties that are the top in the state. Our teachers throughout the county do a fantastic job in Rutherford County. The whole district, we've got exceptional specialists that work with our teachers, and the curriculum is great. So, I can't speak highly enough about, both of our kids are in the county schools, and they're just amazing.
But what our students, I feel like, learn in the virtual school is stuff that we had to learn when we went to college and we were away from, they don't have a teacher standing over them saying, okay, get on this. And they don't, so they really are having to learn these skills.
A lot of self-motivated kind of
organizational
stuff.
skills. They're having to do those things earlier on, and they're coming out ahead because of it.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you guys coming by today. It's been fun.
Yeah,
and if anybody missed any of this, if you want to go back and check out the Holloway High School Fact or Fiction at the beginning, it'll be here shortly. Brian will have it up on the podcast section of WGNSradio.com. And one last thing coming up August 1st, again, give folks another shout out for that.
Back to School Bash Jamboree, Holloway High School. It'll start off in our gym at 12 p.m., but it goes until